Google sends a ton of traffic every single day to various landing pages and questions that people on Quora have answered. And that is where your opportunity, I believe, on Quora lies. The actual usage and users on Quora may not be as high quality as they were, let's say 5-8 years ago, but the amount of traffic that is generated by Quora is still significant to a point where if you can identify questions in Quora that rank for keywords that are in the long tail relevant to your space, and you can answer those questions with high value insights and thoughts that also include subtle links throughout to your own website, you are essentially ranking in Google through a third party and capturing that traffic and sending them to your own site. So the approach that I would recommend is that you first start by understanding what URLs on Quora's website are ranking for keywords that are relevant to your target audience. Map those out, answer those questions, add a ton of value, make sure that they're not just a link to your site and call it a day, fill it with valuable insight. And then once you've done that, you are now ranking in Google for long tail phrases. And if you can start to publish that same answer on your site for that question, you can now own 2 spots in Google for that content. So you can eventually get to a point, and I call this SERP domination, where you try to have SERP dominance, where you own every element of the SERP, where you have the featured snippet, you have the link on Quora that is your answer, you have a YouTube video answering a question, you have your own blog post, you have a guest blog post on a topic. When you have that, that is when you have established a competitive advantage in search. And that is when you have the ability to reap the benefits of content distribution for years to come. That's another cheat code of the internet in large. It's the idea of look at the questions that your audience is asking, look for the discussions that are heated, the conversations that over the life cycle of your time on the internet have constantly stirred up dialogue, debate, discussion, and questions, and use that inspire content that you should create. And then when you create that content, you now have what I would consider content market fit. Like the market has demonstrated that they want to hear about this story. So what you need to do is take that content that you've created and distribute it on the channels where your audience is spending time, because this is the content that they want. So if you know your audience is here and you know that your audience wants this content, give it to them consistently, time and time again, repurpose that content, remix that content, give it to them in the channels they're spending time, and it's going to resonate with them every single time because it's rooted in the research that you did up front to know these are questions they're asking. These are problems they're discussing. And I've now created valuable content because it answers and solves the problems that they've been talking about for weeks or months or years. Everybody wants to create amazing content, but nobody wants to do the research to figure out what goes into creating that amazing content. And you can choose your heart. Like you can choose to spend a lot of time up front researching the type of content that's going to result in an amazing piece of content. And yes, it's not going to be easy. It's going to be hard work, but the outcome is going to be an amazing content. Or you can create 100 pieces of content that are not rooted in any type of research, any type of analysis, and hope that one of those pieces stand out. Both ways of doing it are very, very difficult. Both ways of doing it are not easy and are going to be challenging, and you have to choose your heart. Me personally, I would choose to do the research every single time over brute force, creating, and hoping that something sticks. I would rather spend weeks researching, understanding, and then creating something that I have a high probability of actually having success with.